Okay, I'm ready.
Coach, how different does this team look under Jim McElwain than the team you beat last year?
The first thing you notice when you watch film is just you notice team speed. You notice great athletes, just good-looking bodies on these guys. So, when you turn the tape on and you just start looking at personnel, it's obviously very much the same. 11 out of 22 starters returning. So that's what you see. But just watching them play on TV or watching them play on the coach's copy, they play extremely hard. They've played well. They've made plays when they had to. I mean, it was spectacular what happened in the Tennessee game. I mean, to have 4 fourth and longs, I think it was 5. I think they were 5 for 5 on 4th and long to win. That was just clutch playing, and games like that give you a lot of confidence. And then what they did in their game against Ole Miss was pretty special, especially considering what Ole Miss had done to that point. And so you see a very well coached team. I'm not into comparing, but I see a team that's very talented, very confident, and coached well.
Coach McElwain said during the bye week they scouted that team, as if like you would.
Exactly.
Did you guys do something similar?
Sure did. We sure did. It's pretty common, but yeah, we had a self-scout. We wanted to look offensively at what defenses are seeing in us. When we're in this personnel group, what do we do? When we're in this formation, what do we do? If we have the fullback behind the quarterback in the I formation, what do we do? If we have him offset, what do we do the most? Is there a trend there? So not only were we doing that, looking for trends, but we were also looking at the actual plays that we run and how well are we executing them. Kind of the thing that you would normally do, after the season's over, going prior to spring, trying to decide what you want to install and all that kind of thing. And as you put teach tapes together for the spring, and you take the best, and sometimes you take the worst. If this happens, this could be the result. But we did a lot of that as well.
Did you notice anything that you had to work on?
Well, there's definitely some tendencies that we have that everybody has. I mean, some people don't like to have tendencies that are too heavy run versus pass, let's say, or whatever. But sometimes you have a tendency because you're good at something. So you like, hey, we ran the ball 10 out of 12 times in this formation. Well, it was actually pretty good. So you can tuck yourself out of it and say, well, we got to throw the ball in this formation now to trick them instead of just continuing to execute. So you got to have a nice balance. I've always been one that's more concerned about execution than having too heavy of a tendency one way or another. But it is a time to try to, they'll, I'm sure, have some curveballs for us, and we'll try to throw a few curveballs at them as well.
For the guys like Grayson or Jake Gaines, this is their first Georgia Florida game. How do you prepare them for what they're going into?
Well, being in an SEC house like Tennessee, I mean, that's very similar to the environment that will be in this game. The difference is it's going to be really loud when either team has the ball. When we had the ball, it was super loud. Tennessee was kind of quiet when they had the ball. Now, whoever has the ball, it's going to be loud, and it's going to be plenty loud enough to force us to use our nonverbal communication. And, when they've got the ball, we're going to be loud, so our defense has to learn to communicate that way as well. So both sides of the ball got to deal with the noise, and then it is one of those games where if you do something good, it seems maybe bigger than it is, and if you do something bad, it seems bigger than it is. And you have to just kind of stay calm and stay focused and not get too carried away with how a game starts one way or the other.
For a while, it seems like Florida really dominated this series. What do you think it would mean for your seniors if they were able to leave with just one loss?
I'm sure they'd be excited. This game means a lot to a lot of people, for a lot of different reasons. But seniors always want to win their last one against whoever it is. It's the thing that they could probably, have a little bragging rights on. But it's more meaningful to them probably in regard to the SEC Eastern Division race than just saying we beat Florida.
Time for one more.
Coach McElwain said that he's very familiar with your defensive coaches, a lot of your new staff over there, and they changed their calls because he figured that Pruitt or Cheer might know what they are.
Right.
That goes both ways. Have you had to do anything knowing that McElwain's familiar with your defensive coaches and Coach Sale?
Well, do we call the game exactly the way it was called at Alabama? I don't think so. I think we're going to adapt to our personnel and do what we think we can do. And on defense, and the same thing's true offensively. I think because people were asking about Coach Sale, knowing Coach McElwain and what he did offensively and all that, but he's going to adapt to his personnel and do what he thinks is best. And the comment I made in the other room was, I think watching 6 or 7 games of tape of this year is much more valuable than looking back at the history of what he's done. There may be a couple things here and there philosophically that might be helpful, but I think just studying the tape's our best bet.
Thanks.
All right, thank you all.